crazy as it is to say it, Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and I know how intimidating it can be to try to achieve a new look that you love, especially if you're newer to the makeup world. And so today I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite products as well as some tips and tricks to achieve a makeup look regardless of your skill level, and I'll be teaching it using this look today. It's a neutral smoky eye with some pops of purple. So let's get started. Hi and welcome to our channel. I'm Melissa and this is my sidekick Whitney. We're excited to share with you our tips and tricks for taking care of yourself and feeling your best. Join us each week as we discuss a variety of topics related to all things beauty and self-care. Now, let's get started on today's topic. Today I'm going to be using Mary Kay's Chromafusion eyeshadows. I'm going to be sticking with mostly the browns over here, but I will add in a Merlot and a few other colors. What I love about all of the eyeshadows in this palette is that they're so pigmented. What you see in the palette is what you're going to get on your face. There's little to no fallout at all, so if I'm brushing product on my eyelid, I don't have to worry that it's going to end up underneath. And they stay all day long, they don't crease, they're just absolutely amazing. I've been using these eyeshadows literally ever since they came out. I don't ever see myself changing. So, I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna use the shade Candlelight. Candlelight is a shimmery, kind of like a cream color, and I'm gonna start with that on the upper portion of my lid. So I'm gonna do from my crease all the way up to my brow. Sheesh, my bangs. And this is going to not just give me a little bit of shimmer, but it's also going to help that any products I put on top of this, they're gonna blend so much better after. This is probably one of my absolute favorite colors for the upper eyelid area, just because it's such a neutral color, yet it's got such a subtle little sparkle to it. Okay, next up, I'm gonna go in on the crease. And for that, I'm going to be using a really fluffy brush so that everything blends out really smoothly and really evenly. I'm going to be using the Mary Kay blending brush. It's got kind of a tapered end, so you can see it's pointier at the tip and just kind of gets a little bit bigger as it goes. It's really fluffy, which means it just blends so easily. And the next color I'm going to be using is the shade Hazelnut. And Hazelnut is like a slightly darker shade than my skin tone. So it's gonna be really subtle. It's gonna make it so that as I do add darker colors on, they just blend so flawlessly. So I'm gonna go in with Hazelnut, starting in the outside crease, and I'm gonna blend it all the way across the crease, going as far as the inner corner. You do want your outer corner to be the darkest, so this is the only shade that I'm gonna blend all the way across to the inside, just because it's so close to my natural skin color, but it is slightly darker. Start in the outside corner, because that's where you want it the most pigmented. And then bring it all the way across in a sweeping motion. One of my tips would be that if you really want your eyeshadow to pop and be a little bit bolder, is don't just stick to the crease. Go higher than the crease itself, because you want to be able to see your eyeshadow even when your eyes are open. If you only go in the crease when you open your eyes, you're not gonna be able to see any product. So that was the shade Hazelnut. Next in, I'm gonna go with Cinnabar. This is also a matte brown, slightly darker than the Hazelnut, and I think it's got almost like caramel tones to it. So I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to apply it more focused on the tip of the brush and less on the outside edge. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to start in the outer corner again and make sure I deposit most of the product in that outer corner, and then windshield wipe it all the way across. And this time I'm gonna go about probably 2/3 of the way across. So I'm not going all the way to the inner corner, I'm just sticking with mostly that outer, but some of it can get on the inside section. Great thing about eyeshadow, it's pretty hard to mess up. If you go too dark, you can blend it out. If you're not sure how dark you wanna go, just start lighter and you can always add some more product on. Next product I'm gonna use is going to be the shade Mahogany. Mahogany is deeper yet than the Cinnabar that we just did. Still a matte shade, because I'm working in the crease. I like going with matte shades in the crease. And on this one, I'm just doing it mostly on the very pointy part of the brush. And once again, just sticking to that very outside corner. And this time I'm going maybe about halfway across.
Everything is like a test. I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
And it's time for some shimmer. So for the shimmery shade, I'm gonna use the Mary Kay liquid eyeshadow in the shade Light Beam. It's a really pretty shimmery gold shade. I'm gonna take the wand out. It almost looks like a lip gloss wand. And I'm going to apply some product just on the center of my lid on both sides. And then you can use either your finger or a synthetic bristle brush. That would work well for this too. Just because I've already got my eyelashes on, I'm not gonna use my finger because I think I would get it a little too far out. Oh, see, I already got it up where it doesn't belong. Crushing it. Okay, so I'm gonna take my synthetic bristle brush and just kind of pat this product, taking most of it into the inner corner. You can go up to the crease, but not over the crease, because you want to keep your matte colors in that section. And then a little bit in the outside as well, just to blend it out. We'll do the same thing on the other side. You can see where I got some product up where it doesn't belong. And we're just gonna apply a matte eyeshadow right on top of that, and it's gonna go away for us. So we'll go ahead and fix my mistake. So I'm gonna go back to my blending brush that I used before and start in the outside corner and just slowly blend it across. And that will help buff out that sparkly spot I just got on my lid. I wanna go in with a little bit of purple. One of my favorite shades in this whole palette is the shade Merlot. It's a matte deep purple, much like Merlot the wine. We're gonna take this shade and just go in the very deepest part of the crease. I love this shade so much. It's probably one of my most used shades. For this one, I'm gonna be using a different brush. So I'm gonna use our crease color brush. It's got much shorter bristles. And so the shorter bristles are gonna make it more pigmented, and it's gonna make it so it's so much easier to get the color exactly where I want it to go. So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna apply it just on the very point of this brush. And then I'll start in the outside corner. And I'm just doing mostly the crease itself. So I'm not blending it up. I'm just doing it in the crease, almost to kind of create a line, keeping the most pigmented part in the very outside corner. That's gonna help add a lot of dimension. Love that. I'm gonna go back to our fluffy blending brush we were using before, and I'm gonna blend just a little bit, not too much. And I'm gonna do a little bit of lower eyeliner as well. So for this, I'm gonna be using, what's this one called? The smudger brush. And this one is really short, really stumpy, and it's perfect for being really precise on where you want to put your product. So I'm gonna go back in with the Merlot, which is that deep purple shade that I used before. I'm just going to brush it, starting in the outside corner, about half of the way across. Not super far. Half to, I'd say 2/3 maybe. On the lower lash line. This will kind of help make everything a little bit more cohesive. This is pretty much the only way I will wear eyeliner in the under eye area, is just with a powder, because it smudges out so well, and it almost, I think it just looks a little bit more natural. It's not quite as bold. And then once you're done applying the lower eyeliner, I would also recommend that you kind of sweep it out just a little bit to connect it with the eyeshadow on the upper portion of your eye. So in that very outside corner, blend it out to line up with everything you just did. And then if you want, you can take an eyeliner brush. So this is angled eyeliner brush to just deposit some of this same Merlot shade on the upper portion of my lid, just really close to the lash line. And I'm only doing this once again on the outside corner, not bringing this to the inner corner. That's it. Thank you so much for joining. If you love this video, be sure to subscribe and share it with a friend. We also have our Sparkle and Shine group on Facebook, where we'll be digging deeper into all things glam and special occasion makeup later this week. So be sure to click the link down in the description to join and chime in on the conversation. So thanks for watching, and Winnie and I will see you next video. Bye!